Hold on tight, because what you're about to hear might just be the most important message of your entire life. Jesus himself is announcing something incredible, and yes, it concerns you and your financial future. We're not talking about just any blessing, but a divine and unexpected inflow of money that will leave you speechless. Does it sound crazy? Of course. But isn't that how God's miracles work? They defy logic and transform lives in ways no one could have predicted. Let me ask you this. How many times have you prayed, hoping for something, anything, to change in your financial situation? What if I told you that your prayers have been heard, and what's coming next is going to shatter all the limits you've faced? Jesus has a message specifically for you, one that could forever alter the course of your financial future. Yes, you heard right. Unexpected money is about to arrive, and it's no coincidence. It's because you've been chosen to receive a financial miracle like nothing you've ever experienced. Imagine waking up tomorrow and receiving an email, a letter, or even a direct deposit that leaves you speechless. The amount of money you're about to receive won't just cover your needs. It will overflow, placing you in a financial freedom you never thought possible. This is God's promise, and it's reserved for those who are ready to believe beyond what they can see. And here's the catch: only those who act and listen to this message will unlock this divine abundance. It's true, this isn't for everyone. Jesus is calling a chosen few, and the question is, are you one of them? People will try to tell you it's impossible, that financial miracles don't exist. But those people? They've already missed their blessing. You, on the other hand, are on the verge of something earth-shaking. You're about to receive money from unexpected sources, and all of this because you're here, in this very moment. Coincidence? I don't think so. It's divine timing, and Jesus is using this moment to reveal his plan for your financial breakthrough. But let me be clear, this opportunity won't be here forever. Jesus is opening a window for you now, but it requires faith. This message is for the bold, for those ready to step into the financial abundance God has reserved for them. Miracles don't wait, and neither should you. If you want to receive what's been promised to you, you need to act fast. Subscribe to this channel, and stay with us, because what's coming next could be the key to unlocking the blessings you've prayed for your whole life. The truth is, most people will never demonstrate faith. They'll let doubt, fear, and uncertainty rob them of their financial blessings. But that's not you, is it? You're here for a reason. This message didn't find you by accident. Jesus is calling you to something greater, something beyond the limits of what you thought was possible. And if you're ready to receive it, get ready, because the doors of heaven are about to open. The only question is, are you ready to handle the miracle that's coming your way? Don't let this moment pass you by. If you're ready to receive the financial breakthrough that God is preparing for you, it's time to act. Jesus has a plan, but it's up to you to make it happen. Click the subscribe button now and join a community of believers who are already experiencing financial miracles beyond their wildest dreams. Every second you wait is a second where someone else could be claiming the blessing meant for you. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and prepare to receive the unexpected money that's coming your way. This is your moment. Don't miss it. When we talk about financial blessings, many might think it's something unreachable, but God continually reminds us that He is the provider of all things, including the money we need to live with dignity and prosperity. He promises a radical transformation, like an avalanche, not of destruction, but a cascade of financial miracles. Imagine every cent that seemed distant suddenly becoming accessible, as if it was only waiting for your unwavering faith to manifest it. This transformation isn't random. It's the direct result of your alignment with divine will. The concept of divine abundance isn't just a vague hope. but a concrete promise from God. He doesn't just suggest that blessings might come, He announces them with authority. When you place your faith fully in Him, you open the door to a flow of financial blessings. Think about how often people struggle, feeling lost in the storm of financial hardship. God is offering you a way out, a direct path to prosperity. All that's required is faith, a deep and unshakable belief that He will fulfill His promises. One of the most powerful examples of this is found in the stories of those who have experienced miraculous financial turnarounds. Imagine someone on the verge of losing everything, debts piling up, no job prospects, and yet, after fully committing to faith, they receive an unexpected job offer or financial support. These aren't just coincidences. These are financial miracles. And just like them, you too can witness such blessings unfold in your life when you hold on to your faith. Now, let's get practical. Faith is powerful, but it must be accompanied by action. You might be waiting for that financial miracle, but God wants you to prepare to receive it. Have you taken steps to manage your current finances responsibly? Do you have a plan for what to do when the blessings start flowing? Just like farmers prepare their fields for rain, you must be ready for the avalanche of financial blessings. Start today by examining how you can align your financial life with God's teachings. There are countless examples throughout history where faith and action led to overwhelming prosperity. From biblical times to today, those who truly believe in divine provision have seen their lives change in extraordinary ways. They didn't just passively wait, they actively pursued their goals, trusting God to guide them every step of the way. Your story could be the next divine intervention, where financial blessings aren't just a surprise, but the expected result of your faith and efforts. One of the keys to unlocking this abundance is to remain faithful even when it seems like nothing is happening. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't see the roots growing beneath the ground, but they're there, establishing the foundation for future growth. In the same way, your faith is laying the groundwork for your financial miracles. Don't get discouraged because you don't see immediate results. The promise is there, and the blessings are on the way. Another important factor is your mindset. If you believe scarcity is your only reality, that's what you'll continue to experience. But if you shift your mindset to one of abundance, recognizing that God has already set aside financial blessings for you, you'll start to see opportunities you may have overlooked before. This shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset is one of the most profound transformations you can experience in your financial life. God is not limited in His ability to bless you. Just as He multiplied the loaves and fish, He can multiply your finances beyond what you ever imagined. The key is to trust in His provision and be open to the financial miracles waiting to be revealed. Imagine waking up one day and discovering that all the financial burdens weighing on your shoulders have been lifted. This is the kind of transformation God is offering you, an avalanche of blessings that sweeps away your worries. You might think, but I've prayed for years and nothing has changed. The truth is, God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our expectations. What may seem like a delay is often God preparing you for something greater. Sometimes, the financial miracle comes in a way we didn't expect, an opportunity, a new connection, or even a change in how we manage our finances. Keep your faith strong, because the breakthrough is closer than you think. The Bible tells us stories of people who trusted in God's provision and saw extraordinary results. Joseph, for example, went from being a slave to one of the most powerful men in Egypt. His journey was long and filled with trials, but his faith never wavered. And in the end, he was blessed not only with personal wealth, but with the responsibility of distributing God's financial blessings to others. Your path may not be easy, but with faith, the rewards will be immense. Remember, God's blessings aren't just for you, they are meant to pass through you. When you receive these financial miracles, you become a vessel to help others. Think about the countless lives you could impact if finances were no longer a concern. The blessings God gives you are meant to be shared, expanding the reach of His love and provision around you. It's a cycle of giving and receiving that leads to even greater abundance. As you continue on this path toward financial blessings, it's important to keep a grateful heart. Even in moments of lack, thank God for what you have. Gratitude is a powerful force that attracts more blessings into your life. When you focus on what is good and thank God for His provision, you open the door to even greater miracles. It's like priming a pump. The more gratitude you express, the more blessings flow. It's also crucial to remember that God's blessings aren't transactional. You don't earn them by ticking off boxes or doing good deeds. They come from His love for you. However, He calls you to be faithful in your actions and in your trust. That's why living a life aligned with His principles, including managing your finances wisely, is key to experiencing these financial miracles. When you walk in obedience, the blessings naturally follow. As you reflect on this promise of divine abundance, think about how you can start preparing today to receive the financial blessings God has in store for you. Is there a habit you need to change? Maybe there's a financial goal you've been putting off because it feels too big or unreachable. Take that first step in faith, trusting that God will guide you. He's ready to bless you abundantly, and all it takes is your unwavering belief. The path to divine prosperity isn't always a straight line. There will be challenges and setbacks, but with faith, those obstacles can become stepping stones to something greater. Every trial is an opportunity to strengthen your trust in God and His provision. And as you persevere, you'll begin to see how those small steps of faith add up to create monumental change, leading to the financial abundance you've been waiting for. What step will you take today to align yourself with God's plan for your finances? Maybe it's seeking advice, creating a budget, or starting that project you've been putting off. Whatever the action, do it with the certainty that God is by your side, guiding every move you make. He's already set the avalanche of blessings in motion. It's now up to you to receive them. Faith is the cornerstone of every financial miracle. Without a deep conviction in God's power, His promises can feel distant, even unreachable. For those who lack this conviction, the doors of abundance often remain closed. It's important to understand that financial blessings are reserved for those who have complete trust in God's provision. Those who waver often miss out on the miracles that could transform their lives. This message isn't for everyone. It's for those who dare to believe without hesitation. Think about this. How many times have you found yourself doubting that God truly provides for you? That doubt can become a barrier between you and the financial miracles waiting to manifest. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, afraid to jump because you don't see the safety net below. But if you have faith, true unwavering faith, you jump, knowing that God's hand will catch you. That's the kind of conviction it takes to unlock financial blessings. Faith isn't passive, nor is it weak. It's an active, living force that pushes you forward even when the odds seem stacked against you. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Those who receive financial blessings aren't necessarily the smartest or the richest. They're the ones who never let go of their faith, even in the darkest moments. If you want to experience a financial miracle, you first need to commit to believing in God's power, no matter what. We see this truth reflected in the lives of those who have experienced miraculous financial turnarounds. People who, in the face of impossible circumstances, chose to trust God completely. They don't let their circumstances dictate their faith. Instead, They let their faith dictate their circumstances. That's what sets apart those who prosper financially from those who remain stuck. Financial blessings flow to those who stand firm in their belief that God will provide. Now let's talk about conviction. Conviction goes beyond simply saying you believe. It's about living in a way that reflects that belief. When you're truly convicted, every action you take is aligned with your faith. You're not just praying for financial miracles. You're acting as if they're already on the way. This level of conviction is what God is looking for in His people. He wants to bless you, but He also wants to see that your trust in Him is unshakable. Think of someone who has been praying for years for a financial breakthrough. They go to church, they tithe, they ask for God's help. But deep down, they're filled with doubt. They worry about how the bills will be paid, how they'll make ends meet. That doubt cancels out the faith needed to receive a financial blessing. On the other hand, those who believe with conviction live differently. They don't worry about tomorrow because they know God has already taken care of everything. This doesn't mean life will always be easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments where you wonder if the financial miracle will ever come. But those who receive God's blessings are the ones who keep believing, even when everything seems stagnant. They trust in God's timing, knowing that He never fails to deliver on His promises. In those moments of waiting, conviction becomes your greatest asset. It keeps you grounded, patient, and hopeful. In fact, many of the most extraordinary financial miracles happen in the most unexpected ways. A job offer that comes out of nowhere. An investment opportunity that pays off beyond your expectations. These aren't random events. They're the result of faith deeply rooted in conviction. When you believe with all your heart that God will provide, you open yourself up to receive blessings in ways you could never have foreseen. That's the power of faith. But how do you build that kind of faith? It all starts with a decision. You decide once and for all that you will trust God no matter what. From that moment on, every action you take, every decision you make, is filtered through that trust. You stop worrying about the future because you know God's plan is perfect. You start seeing financial blessings not as a possibility, but as a certainty. And with that certainty comes peace, confidence, and abundance. Many people want to plan everything out, control everything, know exactly how things are going to unfold. But God calls us to let go and trust Him fully. It's like handing over the reins of your life to the one who created it. When you do that, you pave the way for financial blessings far greater than anything you could have orchestrated on your own. The question is, are you ready to trust Him that much? Think about it. God owns everything. Every dollar, every resource, every opportunity, it all belongs to Him. And yet, He chooses to share that with those who place their trust in Him. The Bible is full of examples of people who received incredible financial blessings simply because they believed. They didn't know how or when the blessings would come, but they trusted God to provide. And He did, every time. The same is true for you. There's no reason you can't be the next person to experience a financial miracle. The only thing standing between you and the blessings God has for you is your faith. Do you believe He can do it? Do you believe He will do it? If the answer is yes, then you're already on your way to receiving the abundance He's promised. But if there's doubt, now is the time to face it. Strengthen your faith, and watch as the blessings start to flow. God never breaks His promises. His word is true, and His desire is to see His people prosper. But prosperity starts with faith. It starts with conviction. You can't just hope for financial blessings. You have to believe they're already yours. And when you believe that, nothing can stop the flow of abundance into your life. So where are you today? Are you ready to believe without hesitation? If so, the next step is simply to act on that belief. Faith alone is powerful, but combined with action, it becomes unstoppable. God doesn't just ask us to believe, He calls us to act on that belief. The story of the Israelites gathering manna is a perfect example. Every day, they had to go out and collect what God had provided. They didn't sit passively waiting for it to fall into their laps. Similarly, if you're praying for a financial miracle, God expects you to take action toward that goal. Your financial blessings are waiting for you, but you have to be ready to meet them halfway. That action can take many forms. Maybe it's applying for that job you've been hesitant to pursue. Maybe it's launching that business idea you've been sitting on for years. Or it could be as simple as creating a budget and sticking to it. Whatever it is, God is saying, do your part, and I'll do mine. He's already set the financial blessings in motion, but it's up to you to meet them halfway. Faith isn't passive, it's an active force that propels you forward. A common misconception is that prayer alone will bring a financial miracle. While prayer is essential, it's not the only step. Think of it like planting a seed. You can pray for rain, but if you haven't planted the seed, there's nothing for the rain to grow. Action is that seed. When you take steps toward your goals, even small ones, you're planting the seed of your financial blessings. And when you water it with faith, it begins to grow into something greater than you ever imagined. It's easy to feel overwhelmed in the face of financial difficulties. You might wonder, what can I do to change my situation? But even small actions can lead to big results. Start by asking yourself, what's the one thing I can do today to get closer to my financial miracle? Maybe it's making a phone call, sending an email, or researching an investment opportunity. These small steps, when taken consistently, create momentum and attract financial blessings into your life. Another key to acting in faith is consistency. It's not enough to take action once and then wait for results. Just like the Israelites had to gather manna daily, you need to be consistent in your efforts. Whether it's working toward a financial goal, seeking new opportunities, or managing your current resources wisely, consistency is what keeps the doors of financial blessings open. Think of it like building a house. Each action is a brick that contributes to the overall structure of your success. It's also important to remember that God's guidance will direct your actions. When you move forward in faith, trusting His plan, He will illuminate the path ahead of you. Sometimes, that guidance comes unexpectedly. A conversation with a stranger, a new idea, or even a door closing to redirect you toward something better. Stay open to the ways God might be leading you toward your financial miracle, and be ready to act when those opportunities present themselves. Some of the most successful people have shared stories of not always knowing the full plan, but they acted anyway, trusting that things would work out. That's faith in action. It's moving forward even when you can't see the whole picture, trusting that God will provide the next step. And when you take that leap of faith, you'll often find that the financial blessings you've been hoping for are just around the corner. Let's get practical. If you're praying for a financial miracle, what action can you take today? Maybe it's learning a new skill that will open more income opportunities. Maybe it's reaching out to someone who could mentor you in financial matters. Or it could be as simple as cutting unnecessary expenses to free up more savings. Whatever it is, take that step with the certainty that God will meet you halfway and multiply your efforts. The Bible is full of stories where God's people acted in faith and received incredible financial blessings. Think of the widow who, though she had only a little oil, followed the prophet's instructions and filled jar after jar. Her act of faith was rewarded with abundance. The same principle applies to you today. When you move forward in faith and take action, God meets you with more than enough to meet your needs and bless others. It's important to recognize that sometimes, the action God asks you to take may not make immediate sense. You might be led to invest in something or take a step that seems counterintuitive at the time. But remember, God sees the bigger picture. What may seem like a small or insignificant action could be the key to unlocking the financial blessings He has reserved for you. Trust His guidance, even when it doesn't align with your current understanding. Another example of faith in action is the story of Noah. God asked him to build an ark long before the rain came. It seemed absurd at the time, but Noah obeyed, and his obedience saved not only himself but his entire family. Similarly, God might be calling you to prepare for financial blessings you can't yet see. Don't wait until the last minute. Start building your ark today. Whether it's saving, investing, or learning, trust that God's timing is perfect. One of the biggest obstacles to action is fear. The fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, or the fear of making the wrong decision can paralyze you. But God reminds us that He hasn't given us a spirit of fear but of power and love. When you act in faith, trusting His provision, fear loses its grip on you. You move forward, not because you know exactly what will happen, but because you trust that God has already paved the way for your financial blessings. If you've been waiting for a sign to start taking action, this is it. God has already equipped you with everything you need to move toward your financial miracle. Whether it's a talent, a resource, or a connection, you have what it takes to begin. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back any longer. Take that first step, and watch how God multiplies your efforts, leading you toward an abundance of financial blessings. At the same time, remember that not every action will produce immediate results. Just like seeds take time to grow, your actions may not yield an instant harvest. But don't be discouraged. Keep working toward your goals with faith and perseverance, knowing that God is working behind the scenes. The harvest will come, and when it does, it will be far greater than you imagined. Stay patient, stay faithful, and keep acting with confidence. As you move forward in faith, it's crucial to keep your eyes on God, not just on the outcome. Sometimes we get so focused on the end result that we forget the journey is part of the blessing. Every step you take in faith, every action you take, brings you closer to the financial miracles God has promised. Leadership also means making decisions that others might not understand. There will be times when God asks you to take a step of faith that seems incomprehensible to those around you. But as a leader, you must trust that God's plan is bigger than what you can see. This is especially true when it comes to finances. You might feel led to invest in something others see as risky, or to give generously when your own resources seem limited. Trust that when you follow God's guidance, your financial blessings will be multiplied. Being the lender and not the borrower is a powerful concept in God's promise. It means you'll have more than enough to meet your needs and to help others. Imagine the freedom that comes with financial independence, where you're not burdened by debt but in a position to lend to others. This is the level of financial blessings God has in store for you. It's not just about personal wealth. It's about being in a position to influence and uplift others through your generosity and wisdom. Another aspect of leadership is responsibility. When God blesses you with financial success, He also entrusts you with the responsibility to manage it well. That means being disciplined, making wise investments, and avoiding reckless spending. God isn't looking for leaders who squander their blessings, but those who can steward and multiply what they've been given. The more faithful you are with the little things, the more He will entrust you with. Leadership and success go hand in hand, and both require good stewardship. In the Bible, we see countless examples of people who embraced this promise of leadership and success. Joseph, who went from being a slave to the most powerful man in Egypt under Pharaoh, is a perfect example. His success wasn't just about accumulating wealth, it was about using his position of influence to save an entire nation. In the same way, God is calling you to use the financial blessings He gives you to create lasting impact. It's not just about what you gain, but about how you use your leadership to bless others. Success, in God's plan, isn't limited to accumulating money. It's about living a life that reflects His glory. When people look at you, they should see someone who walks in faith, who trusts God's provision, and who uses their financial blessings to make the world a better place. That's the kind of leadership God is calling you to. It's about being a light in the darkness, showing others that true success comes from aligning with God's will and trusting in His promises. God's promise of leadership comes with the assurance that you will be victorious in every area of your life. That means overcoming obstacles, facing challenges, and rising above limitations that once held you back. Whether it's breaking free from financial struggles or succeeding in your career, God promises you victory. And with that victory comes the responsibility to lead others down the same path. Your financial blessings aren't just for you, they're meant to inspire and help others. This victory isn't a one-time event, it's a way of life. When you walk in alignment with God's promises, success becomes part of your identity. It's not something you chase, it's something that follows you wherever you go. That's what it means to walk in God's favor. His financial blessings won't just meet your needs, they'll overflow into every aspect of your life. The more you continue to trust Him, the more you'll see success and leadership manifest in ways you never imagined. One of the greatest challenges in leadership is fear. The fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of not having enough. But God's promise is clear. He has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and love. When you step into your role as a leader, trusting in God's provision, fear loses its grip on you. You're no longer bound by the limitations of the world's systems. Instead, you operate under the divine principles of financial blessings and success that God has laid out for you. As you walk in this promise of leadership, it's important to stay grounded in humility. Leadership isn't about ruling over others, it's about serving them. Jesus Himself gave the ultimate example of servant leadership, and God is calling you to do the same. Your financial blessings are a tool to serve others, to lift them up, and to show them the way to success. As you reach new heights, remember that leadership is about influence, and the greatest influence you can have is to lead with love and humility. God isn't raising you up just for your own sake. He has a plan for you to impact the world, to bring His kingdom on earth through your actions. Your financial blessings are part of that plan. They aren't an end in themselves, but a means to fulfill the greater purpose God has for your life. As you embrace this promise, remember that every blessing you receive is an opportunity to lead others to the same abundance. Ask yourself, are you ready to see a radical shift in your financial life? Are you willing to trust God's timing and His plan for your prosperity? It's not enough to just hear the message, you have to apply it. What step can you take today to open the doors to your financial miracle? Whether it's changing your mindset, seizing an opportunity, or simply surrendering your finances to God, now is the time to act. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back any longer. The financial blessings you've been praying for are closer than you think. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Join this community by subscribing, so you never miss another message that could change your life. Together, we can walk this path of faith and experience the miracles God has promised to those who believe. Take a moment to reflect. What would your life look like if money was no longer a source of worry? Picture it. Now realize that it's within your reach. Your financial breakthrough is just one act of faith away. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more powerful messages that will guide you on this path to abundance. This is your moment. The window is open. The opportunity is here. Will you seize it? Subscribe now, and let's continue this journey together toward the financial miracle that's already in motion for you. Don't wait. The next step could be the one that changes everything.